Hey guys, it's History Behind the Warrior, and today we're going to be talking about Eliza from Tekken. Now Eliza is a very odd and still somewhat a newcomer to the series, making her first debut in Tekken Revolution and appearing as DLC for Tekken 7. Now Eliza's history is extremely vague and is more or less shrouded in mystery. What we do know is that she is an ancient vampire, having existed for over 1,000 years. Now Harada himself has said that Eliza derives from hell, and that she has the ability to speak over 27 different languages. When she first awoke from her slumber, the man who first touched her was speaking English, hence why she does speak in English. But the thing is about this origin is that people don't quite understand whether or not Harada was joking, and to me myself, I don't know if he was. But in a world where devils, demons and aliens can kind of be a thing, being a resident of hell just kind of seems like nothing now. So what Harada says here can most certainly be true. So now I wouldn't just say take it with a pinch of salt, but take it with like 2 pinches of salt or something like that. Basically his words have some worth, goddammit. Now as you can imagine, back in the old days, she was truly a force to be reckoned with, and she had an unquenchable thirst for blood. She could have ruled the entirety of humanity and restructured it in a completely different way. Except there was one problem, one thing that stopped her from achieving this goal, one deadly force that would always stop her: narcolepsy. She's a vampire that has narcolepsy. By God. Now at some point, after she finished draining the blood from one of her victims, Eliza would attempt to have a very brief nap. Little did she know that she wouldn't have a brief nap. She would fall into a deep slumber that would in fact last for 600 years. By the time she awoke, she was in this whole new society where phones, cars, and all these new sorts of technology existed. So needless to say, Eliza most certainly did feel out of place. And when she began feeding on people, she noticed a different taste in their blood. It didn't really fulfill her. It tasted off, and she was gaining no form of satisfaction out of this, so her thirst could not be quenched. So Eliza came to the conclusion that she needed to feed on someone that had a strong spiritual force. So she'd begin exploring the world, trying to find such a person, and this led her to the old headquarters of the Archers of Cyrus, to which Eliza would come across Claudio. Considering her a demonic force of evil, Claudio would try his best to kill the vampire, but Eliza proved that she was more than capable of dispatching the exorcist. Now as Claudio lied defeated on the floor, she was ready to sink her fangs into him. That is until Lily Rochenfer appears out of nowhere and confronts the vampire. According to Lily, she's in fact the youngest sister of Eliza. But before things can be fully explained to Eliza, she falls asleep mid-conversation, and Lily is left frustrated and understandably quite angry. But what does this actually mean for the character if that is the case? Story stuff aside, the writers may have just written out Eliza's interesting origin here, and maybe lining it up with something a little bit more grounded in reality with Lily. He says as he's talking about the character who's a vampire. But it's going to be very interesting with how they handle this character, as I would actually like to see Eliza be brought into the main continuity and be used in a more appropriate manner. At the moment, she's kind of a hokey comic relief character, but if they were to actually remove the whole narcolepsy story arc and maybe stem her origins a tiny bit to the devil gene, it could make the story arc very interesting. It'd open up a lot of windows, and we'd be able to see Eliza get used in a less comedic fashion. Of course, if we gotta get rid of hokey stuff, that also does mean blood-filled boobs. Say what? You heard me right. You see, Eliza has this really weird thing where if she actually grabs an opponent and starts draining them of their blood, her cojones get larger. Wow. Harada, just wow. But yeah, that's kind of it for this video. Now, seeing as it's October, would you guys be interested in me talking about some Darkstalker characters? Seeing as I'm doing horror film reviews, it seems like a good opportunity to talk about horror-based fighting game characters. And if there was ever a time to talk about them, it would be October. I was thinking possibly Morrigan or Jeddah next week, but of course that's if you guys are interested. I'll have 2 of my own comments down below, one saying more Tekken or make a video on Darkstalkers, so please let me know down below. Now before this video wraps up guys, if possible let's try getting this video to about 500 likes. It's a great way of supporting this channel as YouTube's ad system is broken as hell, so by giving it a thumbs up it helps out a ton. And if you want to go that extra mile, we now have a Patreon set up. By donating at least $2 you gain access to my private Discord, early access to certain videos such as podcasts, and get exclusive commentary tracks over me watching certain film. All tiers are the same, so if you want to feel an odd sense of shame, disappointment and fulfillment, feel free to head over and contribute to the channel. If not, it's fine, you guys will still get the same amount of content here as you always do. Now as always guys, please comment, like, subscribe and share this video with everyone you know. Please take care and I'll see you all next time. Oh yeah, Jason X reviews out next week, help me.